What's up guys, this is John with GoWesty, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install a staple-in tent into a 1980 to 1984 Vanagon. Begin removing the old tent by unscrewing the aluminum tracks that attach the tent to the van. Next, move to the top of the H-bar and loosen the two nuts threaded onto the carriage bolts that attach the bar to the pop top. Go to the back of the van and remove the two rearmost hinge bolts. I like to break the front bolt loose, but keep it threaded into the van. Now close the top, remove the two nuts and screws from the H-bar end, and zip tie the H-bar collapsed. You can prop the top slightly open with a piece of wood or a box. Move to the back of the top and remove the last bolt in the rear hinge. With the help of 3 friends, take the top off the van and place it upside down on some sawhorses. You'll want to clean the area where the tent was attached to the van with the top off before installing the new tent. We'll want to use a flat blade screwdriver to start prying the tack strip from the top. Once you have one end started, it's pretty easy to pull the entire strip off. Do this for all 4 sides of the top. Before you pull the tent out from the top, take note of where the tent's edge is located on the wood, as this can be used as a reference when installing the new tent. You'll want to go along the edge and remove any leftover staples in the wood using a pair of needle nose pliers. Once all the staples have been removed, we'll need to also remove the latch mechanism from the top. We like to match the new canvas to the old canvas to be sure that there aren't any obvious size differences. Next, lay the tent out in the top in the orientation that it will be installed. You want to grab a tape measure, find and mark the center of the pop top, front and rear. Bring the seams on each side together and bring the edge of the tent back to find exact center of the front panel. Staple the center of the tent to the center of the pop top, pull each corner tight and staple them in as well. Repeat this same process at the rear of the pop top. With the front and back stapled, we can start stapling the tent at the top every foot or so along the sides. Now grab your new tack strip and cut a piece at length to the front of the top. Staple the strip in, sandwiching the tent between the strip and the top, keeping them roughly 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch from each other around the perimeter of the top. If there are any staples that don't seat all the way, use a punch and a hammer to drive them fastened. Be sure to reinstall the latch mechanism. I like to use a little packing tape to tape the tent to the top so that it doesn't fall, and put the top back on the van. We'll get the top attached to the van in the reverse order of how we removed it. Cut the zip ties, guide the H-bar ends back over the carriage bolts, and thread the nuts on. Prop up the front again and thread in the forwardmost bolt into the rear hinge. Now raise the top and get that rear bracket into the same position it was when you removed the top. Deviation of this hinge will cause a change in the location of where the front latch lands. With those brackets bolted down, move inside the van with the front aluminum track and start attaching the tent to the body, working from the center out. You can use the bends of the track and the seams of the tent to figure center. You may need to use a small flat blade screwdriver to help keep the tent beating inboard the track, especially in the corners. Continue this process next for the rear of the tent and finally the sides. Be sure all of the top attachment points have been properly torqued down, screw in the Phillips head screws at the top of the H-bar, and we're all done.